Hello, dear students. Welcome back to our news channel. Students, today we are diving into two important stories that have been making headlines in India recently. These stories affect the lives of millions and carry a lot of history and meaning, even for the students like you. We'll talk about two big topics: the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme or MNREG and how it's been facing challenges. And then we'll also discuss the grand celebrations of Republic Day 2025 that showcase India's heritage, diversity, and military strength. So let's get started by talking about a program that promises jobs to rural workers. Have you ever thought about what would happen if people in villages didn't have enough jobs? Many families in rural area in India depend on farming. But what happens when there's no rain or no crops to harvest? This is where the Manrek comes in. So, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. It's a program started by the government to help people in rural areas get work and earn money when they need it. It was started in the year 2005 and it promises that any adult in a village who wants to work can get up to 100 days of guaranteed employment every year, and it could be anything, any unskilled work जैसे building roads, digging wells, or working on other public projects. But here's the issue: the program needs a lot of money to pay wages to the workers. For 2024-25, the government didn't add any extra funds to the budget for this program. Even though there's a shortage of money, this has caused delays in paying workers their wages. Let's imagine this: you have worked hard for a week and you're supposed to get paid for it, right? But instead of being paid on time, you have to wait for weeks or even months. Sounds frustrating, right? So that's exactly what's happening to many rural workers. Why is this happening? The Rural Development Ministry, which runs the program, doesn't have enough money. Right now, it needs 4,315 crore just to pay wages already owed. And there's also a shortage of near about 5,715 crore for materials like bricks and cement, which is used in those infrastructure projects. So, according to the law, it says that workers should get paid within 2 weeks of completing their work. But delays have become common. And when payments are delayed, local suppliers who provide materials for these projects also stop their supplies. And this breaks the cycle of work. The bigger problem is that the government hasn't added any extra funds to fix this issue. है ना? The government should have added the extra fund so that they can provide wages and the, the money for buying the stuff. But government hasn't added any extra money. In past years, the government used to give more money when needed. For example, during COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, there was a sudden need for jobs and the government doubled the budget to 1 lakh 11,500 crore. Yes, this is a lot of money. But this time, no extra money has been added. Many experts believe that this lack of funding is causing artificial suppression of demand. This means people aren't asking for work because they know that money isn't there, right? So, Parliamentary Standing Committee, a group of basically it's a group of officials who study such programs, they said this shortage of funds is a big problem, and they recommend smooth and timely payments for workers to keep the program running properly. See, क्योंकि you know that farming is no more productive. See, we have a lot of population, and the number one issue with the agriculture sector is the fragmentation of land. Fragmentation of land. Fragmentation. Apart from that, we have small land holding capacity. है ना? जो farmers हैं, most of them are marginalized. They are small scale farmers. तो फार्मिंग इतना ज्यादा प्रोडक्टिव नहीं, ऊपर से क्लाइमेट चेंज. तो अब कुछ तो देयर शुड बी सम सोर्स ऑफ लाइवलीहुड, राइट? तो गवर्नमेंट ने मनरेगा स्टार्ट किया था इसी ऑब्जेक्टिव के साथ कि जो रूरल एरिया में वर्कर्स हैं उनके पास एक जॉब हो, एंड इट डजंट इवन रिक्वायर स्किल सेट, है ना? सो इट्स अ सॉर्ट ऑफ अनस्किल्ड जॉब, जैसे दे हैव टू डिग वेल, कुछ रोड कंस्ट्रक्ट करना है, तो उसके बदले में उनके उनको एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिल जाता था और उनकी लाइवलीहुड सस्टेन हो जाता था। लेकिन द इशू इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, इशू ये है कि अब बहुत सारे वर्कर्स, they have already done the job and still they haven't received their payment, the payment they have, the payment for which they've been asking. तो अब इतने टाइम से वो उनको वेजेस नहीं मिला है, ऊपर से सप्लायर्स जो मनी, जो सप्लाई प्रोवाइड कराते हैं, जैसे मटेरियल्स, ब्रिक्स, सीमेंट, उन्हें भी नहीं मिला है। सो दे आर सेइंग दैट सिंस वी आर नॉट गेटिंग द मनी for our for our products which they are supplying, so this breaks the cycle of work. And experts believe that this lack of funding is causing the artificial suppression of demand, meaning that workers aren't joining program because they know that money is in there. So why would we join it, right? So this is the issue which is happening. And as per the standing committee, they are saying that government basically need to provide fund, they need to address the shortage of funds, which is a big problem as of now, and they recommend smooth and timely payment for workers, so the program keep running properly. All right, now let's move on to our second story, students. We have the news, the celebration regarding uh, Republic Day 2025. Do you know why we celebrate Republic Day? This we have already discussed in yesterday's podcast. It's a day to celebrate our democracy and all the values that unite India. And this year, the theme, yes, theme for Republic Day was Swarnim Bharat, स्वर्णिम भारत, विरासत और विकास, स्वर्णिम भारत, विरासत और विकास, which means golden India, heritage and development. The parade in New Delhi was a grand showcase of India's military strength, cultural diversity and history. The celebrations began early in the morning with Prime Minister Narendra Modi visiting the National War Memorial to pay tribute to the soldiers who sacrificed their lives for the country. Then the President of India, Draupadi Murmu, then arrived at Kartavya Path, which used to be called Rajpath. She was joined by the Indonesian President Subianto, who was the special guest this year. And as the Indian flag was unfurled, the national anthem played, followed by a 21 gun salute. But here's something cool, the salute wasn't done with the old fashioned cannons. Instead, it used 105 millimeter light field guns, which were made in India. This showed India's growing self reliance in defense manufacturing. The parade itself was full of excitement. Soldiers marched in perfect synchronization, tanks and missiles rolled down the street, and the Air Force put on a dazzling show in the sky. And there were also colorful tableaux, which are like what you call it, moving displays on trucks. And this year, some of the key tableaux celebrated 50 years of tribal activist बिरसा मुंडा, है ना? तो बिरसा मुंडा को जो वो सेलिब्रेट भी किया था कि उनके 150 ईयर्स हो गए हैं, कंप्लीट हो गए हैं, एंड 75 ईयर्स ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. Do you know who Birsa Munda was? Yes, you're gonna let me know in the comments below. Yes, who was Birsa Munda? Now, another tableau honored B.R. Ambedkar, who is known as the father of Indian Constitution, and he played a huge role in ensuring that every Indian is treated equally. The Indonesian army also participated with a music band, which added an international touch to the celebrations. This was a reminder of the strong friendship between India and Indonesia. Now, students, at finally, you might be wondering, what do these stories have in common and why do they matter to us? First, both stories show us how important it is to balance the needs of people with resources. Manreg is about helping people in villages find work, while Republic Day is about celebrating the progress of our nation. Both remind us of the need for strong policies and good leadership to create a better future for everyone. Second, they also teach us the importance of being aware and informed. Whether it's understanding why workers aren't being paid on time or learning about the sacrifices made by our leaders and soldiers, these stories connect us to the larger world. That's all for today's episode, students. I hope you enjoyed learning about the challenges faced by rural workers under Mandrake and the amazing Republic Day celebration. Right? Remember, students, you are future of this country. Staying informed and curious about what's happening around you is the first step towards making a difference. I know most of you want to join civil services, right? You want to become scientists, pilot, doctors. So, for that, basically, you want to lead your society. You are the future of this country. And staying informed and knowing about what is happening in your surrounding is the first step towards becoming a leader. So, thank you for listening, and don't forget to tune in next time for more stories behind the news. Until then, take care and keep exploring the world around you.